Time management, I guarantee you in this hunt this year, time management will be even more tested than before. All right? So I will tell you more about that on Saturday morning before we flag off, okay? But I'm pretty sure you will be challenged. So we're trying to give you as much time as possible. Never knew Ipoh was such a long journey, right? Okay, so teamwork is going to be crucial, important, get everything done. Okay, your observation skills, as I mentioned, sometimes in the hunt, you know you solve the clue, you just can't see the answer. Okay, and that's for different reasons. General knowledge is one more that we always do. Okay, but of course these days, you guys just Google it. But sometimes it looks like general knowledge, but it's not. Right? So the command of language, we only, apart from the French and Italian and the German we're using this year, you just need to worry about English and Bahasa. Okay? Don't quote me and say you said French word and Japanese. Okay, so English and Bahasa. Okay, equipment, that's all you need, apart from the... Yes, you don't need the books. If you hunted 15, 20 years ago, the cars were pretty well decked with encyclopedias, you know? And these days, we all just got that smartphone. How nice. Okay, power bank. You will need it because we're not using tulips. Like the previous years, we've already done away with that. This is Maxis. We're going into the future. We're going into 2018, M18, isn't it? Yes. So, we're leaving all the Jurassic ways of hunting behind. Okay? Now, the overview. Let me just show you. Your goal, scoring, that's your maximum points, 150 points. Okay? 30 hunt questions, very usual. Okay? We have a midway, right? Midway point, we'll tell you more about that on Saturday. 4 treasures, these are the 4 items that you have to physically bring back. The 4 challenges are 10 points each, okay? So all in, it's 150 points. Now, for a long while, we've not been to this place. We used to always flag off from there. Regalia Business Center, right? Don't worry, you get the QR code, etc., and all that, and know exactly where to go. Okay. Well, we've told the 1 or 2 restaurants there that you guys are coming, and you guys might eat there. So hopefully they'll open and they'll be ready for you too. I'm sure some of them will. Okay. Flag off is at 7:30 sharp, and final briefing 7:15. We still find some cars coming in, you know. There are 2 problems when we go there. One is, at 7:15, everybody is still eating in the shop. Right? And we can't seem to get you out of the shop. By 7:30, when they leave, when you all have finished the briefing and left, some people didn't pay, so go off. Alright, anyway, I'm sure you all will make sure all that's done this time. That's the map to the Regalia Business Center. Okay, it's USJ 1. Oh, did you take a picture of that? You want to take a picture of that? Can also. Yeah, the briefing notes are there. Okay. Your finish is at Impiana Hotel in Ipoh. So like I said, how far is Ipoh away? Less than 2 hours, right? How long is the hunt? You'll see in a while. Okay, opens from 4, closes at 5:30, 1, or the disqualification time of the last car. Okay? That's the max basically. We're giving you 9.5 hours. Where on earth are we going? Right? 9.5 hours, okay, with 30 minutes extra for penalty. Make sure if you do need to use the penalty, you notice only 1 point for every 5 minutes. Okay, so don't worry. Come back safely is more important. The rest of it has to do with, well, not getting past 5:31 to make sure you don't DQ. Right? Now the good thing, let me tell you, just while you're here, let me tell you about the good thing about us doing midway points. Okay? Whatever you submit at the midway point is counted as your score, even if at the end you were late. Okay? The only things you would lose out at the end if you were late would, in this case, would be your treasure questions. Okay? Your treasure questions. You lose out on those. So at least you got those points in hand. Right? So this is a very friendly way of treasure hunting. Okay? In the past, I remember taking part in a treasure hunt where at the very end I was out by 1 minute. And I counted my score and I would have been second. My team would have been second in that hunt. Right? So we ended up 0. Okay, so in this case, you will not find yourself in that situation, but you don't want to also lose out on whatever points you earn. So manage your time well, basically. Alright, or you will end up a dead duck, disqualified, red card, gone. So manage your time, okay? Alright, for the hunt answers, let's just get down to that. We always tell you that they are within the respective sectors, okay? Now in our form now of the treasure hunt sectors, we give you an area where it's shop houses, etc., commercial areas, etc., right? You're only basically looking at getting into those areas and hunting in those areas, right? And because you have a cluster of questions in those areas, you can choose to do question 1, 2, and 3 first, or 4, 5, and 6 first. Right? If you go in and you find all 50 cars on the same road, you don't have to go and compete with them. Just go to the next couple of questions, right? So that's all very friendly, so you can do that. But you need to know that they are within that sector, okay? And then when you solve the answers, you write them down exactly. So if it is a brand name answer, like the word Sprite, you must say at which place, right? So you know that, well, we know that you saw it. So you don't have to look like this. That's what you call stooping low to see. Right? Don't stoop so low. Right. And then of course, this is a famous one. We tell them to look back. They don't look back at the word, they look back at somebody's backyard. Okay? Unnecessary. Okay, challenges. Now, remember this, all team members must be present for the challenges, okay? So gather your team together and they do the challenges together. Don't come with just 2 of you and then say, my driver is waiting in the car, okay? Especially if you've driven quite a ways away for the person to come, you lose your turn, etc. Okay, follow the instructions given at the respective stations. You're not given a chance to practice and try, okay? You just have to get there, know the instructions, and then execute. That's it. Okay? Alright. Now we are giving you all window times for each one of those activities. That's why I'm saying it's not just about completing the hunt at the end and you measure your time to complete the hunt at the end, but it's also to measure your time to make sure you get into the window times for the activities, get the things done within that time and go. Right? There are some of you who turn up pretty late. Okay, and there are times you found, those who were late, found that we had already closed up and gone. Okay, so it's sad, we don't want to deprive you of the 10 points or so make sure you do. Submission. Of course, in this case, of course, your submission will be online. Okay, you'll be submitting it online. So once you've submitted, that's it. You send your second submission, we will still take your first submission. Okay? That's the way we'll go. Alright, so the tiebreakers, if you have, and if we have situations where there are like, 2, 3 teams at the same amount of score, this is how we'll break the score. We take your challenges, the 4 challenges, add them all up, okay? And that total will decide the first tiebreaker, which among the teams of the same score would be placed, right? then come your treasures, then come your hunt questions, countdown, then the time taken. Okay? Alright. Now, first you will be having helplines. You will also be in connection with you, WhatsApp-wise, etc. Okay? To let you know of things along the way. You can talk to us too, minus asking for answers. Okay? And we will be in chat. If there's anything at all that changes, we will tell you on the chat. Okay? So that's what's good about now. Okay, so check in the hotel if you were so good. I mean, 2 reasons lah. People come back early. If you're so good and you came back early, wait, it's 4 o'clock, check in. And if you're early for the other reason, alright? If you're early for the other reason, okay, go shopping, go makan, come back at 4 o'clock and ask for the key. Okay? Alright, but we'll catch you after that. Did not hunt, huh? That's also a default, right? Huh? Yes, we'll think of things for you to do. Alright, rooming, each team will be given 2 rooms, okay? And you all sort yourselves out accordingly, okay? Next, this is also important. Any participants who make mutual changes in rooming must note that the responsibility of the room that you were initially given is your responsibility, okay? Okay, so now come the sample questions. Okay, we've got some. Observation. What we call observation, right? You know, here we categorize them during the hunt. We don't say, this is an observation clue, right? You just got to figure out what it is. It could be anagram, container clue, whatever. Where the legend begins, and you go up and down and you do your research, and your research tells you legend Piramli, legenda. So you go looking up and down for legend Piramli, tak ada. Okay, until your eyes see this one. Ayo, so boring. That's your answer. Where the legend begins. So if it says where the legend begins, how do you write this answer? You write where the legend begins and don't stop there. Where the legend begins at, right? Buffalo, blah, 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 right? Then you got it. All right, knowledge clues can be, well, as easy as this, not always easy. Owned by Romeo's love interest, such an easy question. Juliet. And she's already an auntie now. Okay? It's been some years, okay? Romeo, Juliet, auntie. Should be actually great-great-grand auntie or something. Right. So write that down exactly. Auntie Juliet Garden Cafe. Alright, and that definition, as I mentioned earlier, ponder, carton, all that definition of words, synonyms. 2 animals get together to study here. Okay? The question doesn't make much sense until you're first of all in the right street. Okay? And then you're solving the clue right there. You see the 2 animals? The wolf and the ram. Right? Research. Studying research. And then this one, of course, this one I think your kampung lah. Kucing punya tempat. Right? Pending. Okay, and then it gets a little more complicated sometimes. I still remember this one. Many years ago, we said this question 3 months before 9/11, and 9/11 was still fresh then. People did a lot of research for 9/11. Okay, and after figuring it all out and getting the wrong answer, I tell them that 3 months before 9/11, do the maths. Go back. It is June 11. That's June 11. Okay. I'm sure. Well, if you hadn't done the right, if your minds didn't go in the right direction, you would have passed the signboard about 3-4 times, and it still didn't come to you, correct? Until you stop thinking about the factual side and come back to cryptic side. So XI 11. Okay. Sounds like always fun questions, sounds like, but there are many ways for me to say sounds like. Okay? Because I can say sounds like and it sounds like. You could say I hear and it sounds like. They say it sounds like. Okay? There are many ways that it can be sounds like. Sounds like they're asking you to rush. One of the easier ones. Rush is to hurry. And here they say, hurry, hurry. Don't expect more than 2 or 3 questions that easy, okay? Alright, sounds like this could be your comment on this hunt thus far, if you are doing well. You know, I mean, that question makes you want to think, now what could it be? Right? And then when you see the board, right? But you notice how big that sign is? Right? I mean, you saw it and it was as large as your billboard, no problem. You see it, you run, right? But the thing is, sometimes it's challenging to spot the answer. So far, so good. Okay, looking back. Okay, look back to see a Japanese soup. It's so straightforward, you know it's miso. But ose means miso, right? Okay. And then initial and acrostics. Okay, I use that quite freely in a lot of our hunts in the past. Okay? But there's so many ways to catch you. I still catch you sometimes. Right? But the best of you are smarter, yes. Initially, kampung ingredients naturally ground to treat you well. Here. Okay? So initially it's very, very straightforward. Okay? But you see, the answer has nothing to do with the question. Except that it spells out, Clinic King. To treat you well was the only indication, right? It's to treat you to be well. Alright, then comes the anagrams. Oh boy, anagrams. I mean, depending on which side you are, I have more fun with anagrams than you do. Unless you solve it, right? Okay. Anagrams, you see the word Andrew can be warned, can be wonder, Elvis can be vials, can be lives, Seville, whatever. Okay? Now, if you were fortunate, it can be as what you call shouting out to you because you put close inverted commas, right? Aid must change for an arena of drinks, for drinks. Aid must become stadium, right? A stadium is an arena, okay? But the trick is, you know, when you guys are hunting and trying to solve clues, the question must fit all around, all right? And we try to make sure that there's enough for you to fit. Let's say the stadium cafe, what is it? Yeah, right? Sports bar, stadium sports bar. If they also had another business next door and it was a laundrette, right? And I didn't say for drinks, but I said, you know, for clean wash or something, right? You put this one, you're wrong. You should put that one, correct? So you should indicate, make sure that the answer is precise. Okay, so just for some other fun samples. Okay, it's unlikely you will see what you are eating here. If I remember right, this shop with a name like this didn't last very long. I think they were selling duck and they spelled dark. I'm not sure. But they were somewhere in near Jaya Supermarket in PJ. You know, you remember it? Okay. One who won't say no to his superior. And a blind manager. Blind manager? Mau ngantai. Okay? Mau ngantai. I mean, I'm not saying that that's what it means there. They say it isn't there, but it is. They say it isn't there. So, imagine, you know, I mean, just to put, I mean, to understand what goes on in your mind. When you read a question, right? And you read the question like that, they say it isn't there, but it is. And you first thing you say is, what on earth is this? Right? Until you get to the right street. And then it all makes sense when you see the board, right? But some of it is very quick and you see the board, and some need a lot of work before you solve it, right? That will tell the difference between whether you get average scores or high scores, okay? Of course, my favorite one, my signature one must always end. I like this, I'll tell you why. I call this the most Malaysian, what do you call it? The most Malaysian treasure hunt clue. Because it is an English question with a Chinese signboard with a Malay sounding word. Alright? So, it's got it all. Okay. Tak untung. Alright, and treasures. Okay, now, this year also, treasures, I will not discount the fact that some treasures will take some finding after you know what they are. What I would suggest you all do in a treasure hunt, always read the treasures early. When you start the hunt, especially heading up to Ipoh, right, there'll be stretches where you don't have the questions yet. You should be doing your research on not just the questions but the treasures. And when you do the treasures and you can solve something, take the first opportunity you can to go and look where it is likely to be found and bought. Yeah? Alright. So, this one of course is very easy. Easy, right? So, I thought it easy. Let me tell you something. I asked this a few years ago and I suddenly realized that Mars is not so popular anymore. People came back and said, "Mana Mars tak ada lagi. Hard to find. Not being distributed like it used to be, etc." Okay, and then this one, after reading all the lines, okay, you know that it's Coke. Okay. Now this, I'm got this example here for one good reason for the newcomers. Okay, you see, because I showed you this and I tell you, oh, you know, read between lines. It says exactly the one. Well, first of all, keep an eye out for the can that shows you, right? So you look at it, oh, Coke is the answer. But then the last line says, exactly the one your school motto points to. In this case, it was Beacon House School, right? You see, it was seek the light. So you don't just bring the Coke. What do you bring? Coke Light, yes. So you don't celebrate until you got the actual one, right? The actual one. Okay, so I think that is it. Now I pass you back to Daniel.
Alright, thank you, Dom. Okay, so we're moving on to the hunt format. It's pretty much going to be the same as last year in terms of how you're going to submit the answers and also get all your questions as well. Okay, so let me run through. Okay, the format will be in the morning, you will still be given some papers, minimal, alright? So in that paper, you'll be getting your cover sheet, okay? That will be having your time, your QR codes, and also the hunt information, your MOT approval, your challenge one, which is a reverse clues, and also the treasure questions, okay? So with this set, you submit it at the end, okay? Reason why we want the treasure question set is because when you write it down, when we check your treasure, when you bring it in physically, we can mark it there itself, okay? Whatever you bring, you write it there. Alright, the rest will be in digital, okay? So don't worry, I have all these slides in the briefing note later. You scan the QR code and you can get all the slides, yeah? So QR codes, so most of you guys will know how to use one, right? You get a scanner, you scan it, and you can go into a link, alright? So in this case, please use proper scanning app. We've done this format before, and some people or participants come to us and say, hey, we cannot access. Why? You know, after checking, they actually use WeChat to scan the QR. Okay? Don't use WeChat, please. Use a proper, there are so many free QR scanning app itself. Okay? Don't go through WeChat. Alright, so this is gonna be how your front document gonna look like. Okay? So you write your team name, team number, team members' names. Top right, we're gonna have your timeout. Okay, when you come in, we're gonna clock you, time in. So you have the first three QR codes, and then your points, and down there a WhatsApp group QR. So there are 4 QR codes now this year on the front cover. So let's go through. First, you scan on the left, alright, your hunt overview. That will bring you to, okay, sorry, before going there, the mode of navigation will be via GPS, okay, as per last year. So this is how the hunt overview will look like. We're going to tell you, okay, your task, okay, your hunt, your item, what is it, alright, where it's going to be at with the GPS coordinates, and lastly, the remarks or instructions. Okay, we're going to put in the window time information there, what are the questions in that sectors, okay, what question number are there, and if you scroll down, there will be some additional information, and myself and Dom's number there as well, okay, for any emergency purposes. So how you do it is you read from top to bottom, left to right, okay, so first one is basically, if you tell you it's a hunt, then you hit there for a hunt first. Sector, we have the sector name with GPS coordinates, okay? That's important to note the GPS coordinates because you have to key in, okay? So let's go with the first one. You take that coordinate number, you key in, alright? You open up a app, all of you would know how to use, right? Everyone from Maxis, okay? So navigation app, Google and also Waze, same company, parent body now. So you use, okay, activate Waze, you key in the code that was shared, alright? And there you go, and you will actually get a search result. So look at the search result map, okay? And when you actually go into the hunt sectors, we will also show you the same exact map of the area, okay? So just identify, like, let's say this one, it shows you like Jalan Orchid and so forth. So just make sure that, okay, like the sector itself, it also has Jalan Orchid. So to show that you are actually double checking and you're in the right area, okay? So with that, so we're gonna show you like a map, sector 1 map, then the questions itself. Sector name, a zone name, alright, from where to where, alright, then your question numbers, okay? So if you look at the map, alright, so one page will show all 30 questions already for you. Okay, when you scan the hunt sector. So the reason why we're giving you this map is also it's easier, alright? That if you see those with these dotted lines, those are your various hunt zones. Okay, let's say this map, there are 3 zones. Question 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? So if you think 1, 3, the first sector, everyone crowds there, if too many cars jam up, you can actually move to the other sectors first. Okay? Then later on, you move back there. Alright? So it's up to you how you plan your movement. Huh? So again, the answers are found, alright, left and right, from the start to the end of the sector. Okay? And in sequence. So let's say there are 3 questions that sector, you found question number 2, answer to question number 2, so 1 will be at the back, 3 will be forward. Yeah? So the last one is basically the answer form, alright? So you gotta click it in, and you should get this, okay? But now what we're going to tell you now is we're going to split up, you have 30 questions in total to submit, so we're going to split it up to 2 legs, okay? So just follow the instructions. On event day, when you scan the answer form, it will bring you a page to tell you the 2 various legs, and will give you the 2 different links to the 2 various Google Forms itself, okay? So it's Google Forms, you key in your team number, team leader name, and IC number, okay? So we have gotten your team leader's IC number, so we're just going to use it for these purposes to double check, so no teams can sabo other teams, because we're going to just take 1 entry, okay, and the first one that you submit, okay? Alright, so when you scroll down, you come to, like, let's say sector 1, Bukit Beruntung. Alright, we're going to tell you the map info again here, alright, the GPS coordinates and also the question numbers in that sector itself. The zone, alright, is going to match the map itself, and then the question numbers there, okay? So there will be question number here, this is your question itself, and then you write your answer in the field. So take note, right, if the form is left unattended, okay? So understand, okay, if let's say you're going to submit at the end of the leg, okay, which is probably maybe more than 10 questions into your hunt, okay? So what you do is you don't key in as you go, alright? So save your answer somewhere else first. When you're ready, only key in one shot, okay? I would think that's a better way because your phone will refresh the page, then all your details will go missing, okay? Yeah. So do not, each field in the form is required, Okay, if you don't know the answer to a specific question, just leave it a blank or put a space there. Okay, if not, they'll not allow you to submit. Yeah. So you're only allowed to submit once only. All right. The first submission will be deemed valid. Yeah. All right. So the WhatsApp group, like I said, leaders. Okay, there are 56 of you. Please, only the leaders scan it. All right. Once you scan it, you are being invited to join a WhatsApp group link. Okay. Once you enter the group, then you can have communication with us. Okay. Please, just the leaders, because I think WhatsApp group chat may not be able to fit 200 yet. I think. Okay. So with that, do you have any other questions on the format? I think it's quite straightforward. Yeah. Any questions from the floor? Okay. Without further ado, I think we're pretty much done. We're going to share some your briefing notes later, okay? But I would just like to invite Jitney now for just some house rules. Housekeeping, house rules.
Okay, it's very exciting. It's going to be very fun, but because it is a competition, so there will be some rules. So one of it will be, make sure everyone that comes on that day, the 4 team members, are the actual team members you sign up. Okay? Now, Maxis got whistleblower program, right? If anybody finds something that is not quite right, you can text me. Okay? So we are very strict. Alright? Make sure your team members are the same team members you sign up. If it's your spouse, your husband or wife, you would know lah, it's your husband or wife. Okay? But it only has to be the people, the 4 people. So you should not be caught bringing your mother, your father, your children, your auntie, your uncles, yeah? So the team should only have the 4 of you. Same goes for the dinner at night, where we will be giving out the prizes as well as the answers. Okay? Secondly, if you have a Maxis car, alright, especially network guys or anyone that drives a Maxis car will be disqualified, because this is not work. It is a fun thing for you to do, so please drive your own personal car. Okay, so no Maxis car on the treasure hunt, right? Now, any other questions that you may have, and also regarding the team leaders, make sure when you key in the IC number, it is the team leader that you signed up with. Okay, not later, maybe halfway through the hunt, you want to nominate another team leader. Please don't use that team leader's IC number. Okay, if you are not sure which is the correct team leader, just check with me. But we will also flash the team leader's name later, because you will need to go and collect your car stickers. Okay, so coming to car stickers, if you forget to bring your car stickers, you will be disqualified. Okay, without car stickers, I think it's by law, right? We are not allowed to participate in the hunt if you don't have the car stickers on your car. Alright, so if you have a very responsible team member, pass it to that person. Okay, so we're going to meet what time? Meet at 6:30. So breakfast is 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. on Saturday. It will be at USJ 1 Regalia Business Center. All this will be found in your briefing notes. So 6:30 to 7:30 basically is breakfast on your own. Alright, so meet up, have breakfast. At 7:15 we will do a safety briefing. Right, then we will have a flag off after that. Okay, any other questions? Nobody asked what time to meet, where to meet just now? No? Okay, no questions? Then you will show the QR code. So please scan the QR code. All the briefing notes are in here. These are the team name with team leader. So if your name is the team leader, please use your IC number. Okay? Okay, collection of car stickers, just send 1 wrap because studio is quite small. Collect your car stickers in studio, right? Once you're done, come and collect your car stickers.
Go big and go home.